Hey everyone, this is Susan from Sly Photography, and I am joining LaVonne Falbo of LaVintage Decor for quarantine collaborations. This is something that she came up with, and it's a way for small business owners to connect with those in their community. We're based in central Pennsylvania, so this is something for our clients, for our customers, and those who follow us to kind of help everybody through this time of self-isolation, quarantine, and depending on where you are, lockdowns. So today I'm going to share with you some self-care tips that I find to be helpful, and LaVonne has something that she's going to share, and I'm going to drop a clip of that right now for you to see what she'll be sharing over on her page, which I will link below in the description.
Hi, it's LaVonne from LaVintage Decor. I've been doing a series of quarantine collaborations this week and working with some of my local YouTube friends. So today I'm working with Susan, as you know. Last year, Susan did some photographs for me on my 60th birthday. So here it is, almost a year later, and I'm just doing a little reflecting today on the last year and over maybe 60 years, and also over this time of quarantine.
Okay, great. That was awesome. Thanks so much, LaVonne. All right, so now we're going to jump into what my self-care tips are. And I do want to say that if you feel like you need somebody to talk to, that if you need to seek out a professional, please do so. These are just some quick little tips that may help you, but if you're really struggling with things that you're thinking, feeling, and experiencing, please don't feel ashamed to reach out to somebody in your area who is a mental health professional that could help you. I know that there's still some stigma about talking to a therapist, but I have one that I talk to weekly, and she has been a lifesaver for me personally. So please seek out help if you need it. There's nothing wrong with talking to somebody, and counselors, therapists, psychologists, they're all trained to help you in any way that they can. Okay, so let's get started. My first self-care tip is to practice journaling. Now that might seem pretty basic, and honestly, I'm not that great of a journaler. I will start it and then I will stop it. But honestly, it is incredibly beneficial, especially during this time, because journaling is a place where you can just empty out your brain and put down all your thoughts and feelings. And you don't have to write it like old school in a diary. You could always type it up on, your computer or tablet or smartphone. Or you could even make a voice memo and record it. And it's just a really great way to just let go of everything that is circling in your brain. Good, bad, neutral, whatever is in there, it's just a good way to dump it out. And a lot of times people think that when they journal, they have to write these profound things that could someday be published as their memoir. Well, that's not really what you have to do. You just have to get out your thoughts and your feelings. It doesn't have to make sense. It could be something totally random. It could just be random words that you're feeling, random thoughts that are popping into your head. If you're writing things down, you could scribble and doodle to get out that energy and emotion. If you're doing a voice memo, you could just speak gibberish just to get like your mouth moving and like sounds and things out of your system. Whatever you need to do to just kind of let everything go so you can have a clear mind and just go about your day. And you can do this in the morning to start your day off strong, so you just clear everything out and then you go on with your day. Or you could do it at night and you kind of take everything that has happened throughout the day and just, put it all down and just let it all go so you can go to bed with a clear mind and whatnot. Or you could do both, whatever is going to work for you. But journaling is definitely a great thing to do to kind of dump out everything that is in your head. And that's something that my therapist and I have been doing together for years. Like I said, I'm not the most consistent with it, but in times like this where there's a lot of stress and anxiety and thoughts and emotions, it is definitely something that has helped me. Okay, my second tip is to make a list of actions that you can do every single day. So right now we're living in a time where there is not a lot of control. There's so much unknown, and not knowing is kind of like anxiety inducing. It can be overwhelming, all of that. You know, we always take tomorrow for granted. We always think it's going to be there. We always think we know it's going to happen. But the reality is we don't. And right now we're really seeing that reality. So something that can kind of help with that unknown and that lack of control is to create things that you can do that allows you to take control. And it can be simple things, it can be big things, but it's just something that's going to help you and kind of bring a sense of calmness to you, a sense of accomplishment. And honestly, I don't even write my things down. At the end of the night, I sit down with my husband and we talk about like, okay, what are we doing tomorrow? What are things that we can do? What are things that are within our control? What actions can we do for those things? And it's very interesting because it's even kind of brought up some things that I never thought about before that I didn't really know that I could control, but with applied action and thought, you know, I can. So that's been really helpful too, because it's seeing that like I can't control a lot of these bigger picture things, but here is this awesome list of things that I can do right now in this moment to keep me focused, to keep me moving forward, and kind of give me that sense of control and accomplishment that comes with that. So maybe that's something that could help you. Okay, my third tip is something that has been on the news and whatnot, and it's been suggested by many mental health organizations, but I feel that it definitely bears repeating, and that is limiting your exposure to the news right now. We are being like hit by news and updates and alerts every minute of every hour of the day. And it's a lot. Like our smartphones are going off with notifications. We get on social media and we're seeing post after post after post from all of our friends. We're getting updates that, you know, this news channel is going live. Your local news channel is going live. Everybody's going live with coverage and press conferences and things like that. And it just can be a lot. So take a step back from that. Turn off all the notifications on your phone and make a decision to watch the news and, you know, keep yourself updated with it at a certain time every day and only for a certain length of time. And then on top of that, really go through the people that you're following right now on social media, the accounts that you're following, and if anything is making you like come down and feel low or feel yucky or cringy or, you know, insecure or give you anxiety or it makes you feel overwhelmed or gives you jealousy or anything like that, stop following them. Block them, mute them, unfollow them for a period of time. Whatever you need to do just to kind of give yourself a break from seeing that kind of content. And if you want to, replace these things with things that are going to elevate you. One of my favorite things to listen to is Oprah Winfrey's podcast, her Super Soul Sundays, because they're just really feel-good interviews with a bunch of different people that inspire you, motivate you, and you just feel good, at least I do, after listening to them. Another person that I really enjoy too is Jenna Kutcher. She has a great podcast called Goal Diggers, and it's geared towards entrepreneurs. And as a business owner, it's great for me because it gives me motivation. It helps me with productivity ideas. It gives me inspiration. And every time I listen to her, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I got this. I can do it. Got a plan for the future because we're going to bounce back from this, and it's going to be great. It's going to be epic, and it's going to be amazing. So that's the kind of stuff that you should be filling your life with right now so that you're not overwhelmed and you're consuming content that is lifting you up and helping you to feel positive and not dragging you down or making you feel yucky. So look for those replacements. And I mean, it could be something as simple as like a cat Instagram, or one filled with puppies, or one filled with, I don't know, llamas. You know, it's whatever is going to just kind of make you feel good and lift you up a little bit. Okay? Great. Okay, so this fourth thing, this is my body posy talk that I could definitely get on a soapbox and talk about for hours, but I'm going to try and limit it. But my fourth tip is to not feed into all the diet culture things that are popping up right now and all the fat phobic content that we see everywhere. I understand that right now everybody's inside. They're starting to lead more sedentary lives. They're not maybe moving as much. And there's a lot of stuff out there that is like, you know, do this quarantine diet so you don't get fat. And all of our summer bodies are going to look like a beached whale. And it's like, okay, that's just a bunch of BS. That is not helpful to anyone, really. It is just perpetuating this idea that we get value from the way our bodies look, which is not accurate at all. So don't feed into those. They're very bad things to be out there right now because they're hurting people with marginalized bodies. They're triggering people who have eating disorders, body dysmorphia, disordered eating, anything like that. And they're all perpetuating these ridiculous standards of beauty, body, and health set by society, which are not even remotely accurate. So whenever it comes to these types of things when we're in our homes, try and look at things from like what brings you joy, what makes you feel good. In terms of exercise, like when you're moving your body, like do things that make you feel good, that bring you joy, that make you happy, that make you feel amazing and invincible. Don't just do something because you're doing it out of fear of gaining weight or being whatever or looking a certain way or hitting a number on a scale. Do it because it brings you joy. And the same goes for eating. Like some of these heavy diets that are like super like restrictive and whatnot, you know, that might not be what is best for you. So just kind of listen to your body, practice intuitive eating, put into your body what it needs, what's going to give it fuel, what's going to keep it healthy, what's going to boost your immune system. And I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist, so I can't really tell you what those things are. But if you're not sure, you could always reach out to your doctor and say, hey, right now, you know, we're stuck inside, we're going to the grocery store and just getting the essentials that we need. What would you recommend for me? Because your doctor's going to know your health. They're going to know what is good for you. So that's a conversation that would be great to have with them. Instead of feeding into this idea that you have to look a certain way and be a certain way, and this quarantine stuff is going to just ruin you and like devalue you as a human. No, it's not going to do that at all. Just ignore that stuff, shut it down. And honestly, like if you see people posting stuff like that, like call them out for it. Like that's the only way that we're going to flip this script and change these insane, ridiculous standards is if we call people out for it and talk about it and not be afraid to do so. Okay? So just know that you are an amazing, incredible person and you get your value from just being you, doing you, and doing the best you can at life. Okay? That's where your value comes in, is being a good person, kind, you know, all that good stuff that, you know, a human should be. You know, it doesn't matter about anything else then. See, I could go on forever about this on my soapbox, so enough with that. You do you, do what makes you feel happy, do what makes you joyful, and that's all that should really matter. Okay? And now finally, I'm going to end this with my fifth tip, which is practice gratitude. So when we practice gratitude, we sit throughout the day, different times. I try and do it 3 times a day. And you say things that you are grateful for. And this is really important right now because we're in this time period where a lot of things are doom and gloom and we're only thinking about the negatives. But we have to try and find the silver lining. We have to try and find the good things that are still there. For example, if you're still able to work because your job is essential, be grateful for that. If you're still able to put food on the table and you have food to eat, be grateful for that. If you were able to get outside today and go for a walk, be grateful for that. Be grateful that you just woke up this morning and you feel healthy. It's these little tiny things that we take for granted day in and day out that we need to start showing our appreciation for. And it's kind of like that saying, if you think about a yellow car, you start seeing a yellow car everywhere. If you start practicing gratitude and you start showing appreciation for things, then you're going to see more things in your life that should be viewed as positive. You're going to find more things to be thankful for, and it's just going to help elevate you to a more happy, positive vibration. And it's going to kind of keep those yucky blues and doom and gloom away. Okay, so yeah, those are my tips for self-care during this time. So feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to go check out LaVonne and her video as well. Okay, thanks. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy.